Yep, it's another Pirates movie. And nope, it's still not rated R.
Jack Sparrow.
Spanish?
Ghost!
Oh. They're unable to step on land. I knew that, though.
Karina!
You will soon pay for what you did to me.
No, there's no need to bother, really.
Karina!
I have no time to chat because my map's just run away.
I will be waiting. For you.
Why would you be waiting for me?
Pirates of the Caribbean. Dead men tell no tales. How was that? Brings back Johnny Depp for his 5th time as Jack Sparrow, this time with a couple of shipmates looking for their fathers and Poseidon's trident. Should these dead men have told their tale? Here's 5 things you might want to know about Pirates 5. Now, this could be an interesting one because this is not a good movie, but I think I'm going to defend it a little bit more than most. Let's find our way there by starting with the negatives. We've seen this so many times, and truly this is a tedious experience in a lot of ways. Because they're not freshening up the genre, it feels slow, it feels tedious. A lot of that has to do with a plot that isn't engaging enough, doesn't feel like it understands how to keep the audience's attention. It's both too convoluted as well as too sparse, if that makes sense. But most of this is just because this formula is tired and it needs refreshing. The other reason it might not feel like a great experience is I think they're trying to squeeze too many of this series' normal characters into meaningful plot developments. There's just too much going on with too many nods and winks to other movies. I imagine if this was the only one you saw, you would feel even less connected to some of these storylines. I feel like this movie could have benefited a lot by focusing down on one of those, main theme plot lines all the way through. And I think that could have brought some energy to the proceedings because we care about this one thing and we're anxious to see where it's going rather than being confused and distracted by so many things going on. But here's the thing. I kind of still managed to have some fun watching this movie. Now, again, I'm the movie optimist. I don't need a lot. Just give me a few things. I think a lot of whether or not you enjoy or hate this movie is going to come down to these next 2 things, and I'm going to make them yellows because they could be good or bad for you. One is Johnny Depp. We'll start there. Johnny Depp's act is the same as he's been giving us in all of these Pirates movies. Now, if you are tired of that, I think it's going to seem annoying and it's going to really grate on you. However, it's still funny. If you give it a chance to be funny, there's a lot to like here. This character works best, in my opinion, when he's our court jester. He's not central to the plot. We don't have to care about him in a particular way. He is just informing the humor of the situation and being along with us for the ride. This movie does that better than any other movie in the Pirates franchise since the first. People forget in the first movie, Depp was just the court jester. It didn't have a ton really to do with him. It's the same here, and I think that can benefit the movie, but again, it's going to be annoying if you're tired of the shtick. The other thing I'll throw in the caution category that might work for some and not for others is just the fact that this is a Pirates of the Caribbean movie. I really noticed the theater around me was having a really good time. And even though I was noticing these things about the plot and the characters and those kind of things, they were noticing this is a world they love. And let's be honest, there's not a lot of worlds in cinema right now like this. It reminded me a little bit of how audiences react to the Fast movies. But interestingly enough, instead of this being Fast 5, where even the critics turn around and are like, oh, okay, this movie knows what it is and it's just doing its thing, I think critics are still in a place with the Pirates movies where they're like, no, we're tired of this thing and we don't like it. But I'm telling you, with the right movie that really centralizes the energy of the plot, I think this series could redeem itself. I don't know that it has yet, but look, it's a Pirates movie. You know what you're getting. Now, the one positive in this movie, and I'll give it a green, it's a big one for me, I love the Rube Goldbergian adventure action type things that happen in this movie. Not since the first have I had so much fun during these action scenes. There's a thing with the guillotine that I almost thought was inspired. It was so much fun, very clever. So not just funny, slapstick funny, although that's there, but also clever funny, which I like. This movie sings when it does those kinds of things. And I think there are a few moments during this movie that reminded me there's something interesting that can happen with the contraptions in this world that I really like. Overall, the new Pirates movie is not one I can wholeheartedly recommend, but if you're willing to overlook a lot of plot stuff and a lot of messiness, there is some occasional fun to be had, enough so that I gave it just above average at a C+. Thanks for checking out this Your Movie Friend review. We'll get to the Best Ever Challenge here in a bit. Before we do, though, if you want to hang out more, I would love that. You can do that at Twitter, Aaron Dicer, Aarondicer. Do a lot of movie tweeting there, have a lot of fun. Also, that's where people pick the second movie that I review every week. I put up a poll there, and people can pick that out. I shouldn't say every week, but a lot of weeks. Also, we can hang out here on YouTube, subscribe, leave a comment, all that kind of fun stuff. And if you like podcasts, check out SiftPop. SiftPop. That's the pop culture podcast we do every week. Have a blast. Would love to have you listen to that. We actually broadcast it live. You can listen live on Friday afternoons, or you can just subscribe, in the podcast feed. And finally, thanks for the amazing support at Patreon. It means the world to me to know that you want these reviews to keep going. Thanks for your couple bucks every month to vote for Your Movie Friend. That's at patreon.com/yourmoviefriend. All right, on to the Best Ever Challenge, where you name the best movie ever in a particular category. Also try to identify my choice. What is the best movie ever with the word dead in the title? Now, there are lots of them, more than I would have even imagined. But mine's an easy choice for me. I'm going with the one that I have to go with because, after all, we are all food for worms, lads. It's got dead in the title and also knows we're all food for worms, lads. Take a guess at mine based on that really abstract clue. The first person to get it right does get a point. Also, leave your choice there. I would love to see it. As always, here's a few extra seconds to hit subscribe. Just click on my big black and white face when it shows up as a circle in the screen.